Hey everyone, let me show you what I did today. I cannot wait to taste this cake. So it is my birthday very soon, so I decided to make myself a cake. I know that's quite sad, but I wanted to try out some new flavors. So I bought some freeze-dried raspberries and I mixed them through my vanilla sponge. I used 25 grams for my 4x6" recipe. All my recipes are available on the Stan store. You should see the link in my bio. So the sponge is raspberry and I am going with a whipped ganache for the filling in lemon flavour. Now when you're making a ganache as a filling, it can't be the same ratio that you would use to cover a cake in because it's going to set hard. You need it to stay soft, so I used a 1:1 ratio. I let it firm up a little bit overnight and then I gave it a good whisk to turn it into the whipped lemon ganache. I also made some lemon simple syrup just to brush on top of the sponges for a little bit of extra flavour. The raspberry sponge will be quite sweet, so I think the lemon will cut through it and stop it from being too cloying. I trimmed off the tops, I poked a hole through the centre, added the simple syrup and then double wrapped in cling film. I will be leaving these sponges in the fridge overnight, so come back tomorrow and watch me stack, fill and decorate this birthday cake all for myself. Hey everyone, look how perfect these sponges turned out, and I've got to say this cake was delicious. If you watched part 1, then you will know that I am using my birthday as an excuse to try out some new flavours and practice my ganache techniques. So in this video, I am stacking and filling this 4-layer 6" cake. You might be wondering why there is a dowel in the board if it's just one tier. It's just to keep the cake nice and straight and stable. I'm not sure if it's really needed just for the 4 layers, but I'm trying out some new things, so it's just there for a little bit of extra support. When I was deciding on the flavours, which is raspberry sponge with a whipped lemon ganache filling, I didn't think about how runny the filling is going to be and that it would need a stable dam to stop the filling from falling out. So I did have to make some lemon buttercream. I just needed enough to pipe round the 3 layers, so I used 100 grams of butter, 200 grams of icing sugar, and there was a bit left over which came in handy for the decorations. When I tasted this cake, I thought that the raspberry and lemon worked really well together, and I loved how the lemon ganache stayed nice and soft inside the cake. If I was to do it again, I probably wouldn't add as many of the freeze-dried raspberries. You could taste the raspberry in every bite, which is what you want, but I had some left stuck in my teeth afterwards, so I'd maybe add a little less next time. Hey everyone, this is part 3 of me making my own birthday cake. In this video, you will see me add the final layer in ganache and decorate. So I'm now in my last year of my 30s. Woohoo! I'm actually quite excited about turning 40 next year because I don't know if you've heard, but life begins at 40. It doesn't end. No. It just begins. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it actually. I feel like we take life for granted sometimes, and if you think about it, every day is a blessing. We should be more thankful for being alive. I know you're not following me for inspirational quotes, so let's talk about the cake. If you've watched the previous parts, then you will know that I have been playing around with some new flavours and putting everything that I learn about ganache into practice. This is the first time that I have covered a cake in ganache as a final layer. This is white chocolate ganache, as in white coloured white chocolate. It's really hard to get a white with American buttercream with the yellow butter. I found it a little bit easier with this ganache, but I think if you're wanting it super white, then you can't go wrong with Swiss meringue buttercream or fondant, obviously. So for the decorations, I just wanted to keep it super simple, and I went for black and white with some gold accents. I put those flowers on the bottom and then realised they were way too chunky for the cake, so I did take them off. You know, something that has really helped me lately is realising that there's no rules in cake decorating. You can just do what you want. It's actually quite freeing. So here I am just dabbing some gold luster dust on the edges of the leaves. I felt like the black was just too black, so this just tied it in. Yeah, there's no rules. You can do what you want. If you want to put glitter on some leaves, you do that. So here is the final shot. Looking at that now, it looks more like a funeral cake, to be honest. Rest in peace 30s. Thanks for watching.